Welcome, foolish mortals. There's no turning back now.
Welcome, foolish mortals. How's everybody doing today? So excited to be back and bringing you another episode of the Disney Life Happy Wife podcast. Long time no talk, I know. It's been quite a bit. So this is episode number 20, I think, of, like I said, the Disney Life Happy Wife podcast. The podcast where we talk about all things Disney, not just Disney movies, not just Disney parks, not just Disney travel, not just Disney Plus, all things Disney. I am your host with the most. I'm Kristen, and you know me. If it's a Disney life, then I'm a happy wife. So, last episode was well over a month ago. I think it's been 2 months actually since my last episode came out. So yeah, I think it's been 2 months. All my days seem to be running together. It's crazy. With Emily being home so much, it's just everything just seems to be running together. So at the end of my last episode, I said that in this episode I was going to be talking about a Disney book, my first Disney book review. I'm still working on that book, so this episode is not about that review. Sorry, guys. But hopefully the next episode will be about that. So, next episode we'll hopefully talk about that and talk about that book. I think I'm definitely more than halfway through it. It is The Isle of the Lost. So if you are fans of the Disney Channel original movie or the DCOM movie Descendants, this book is what that movie is based off of. So next episode I will be talking about that book, and I'll actually be doing my very first Disney book review, and I'll actually be reviewing a movie that was released right to Disney Plus. If you don't know, now you know. So it's from the movie if you watched it. Hamilton. I'm a big musical theater fan. I love plays and musicals, and I have wanted to see Hamilton for a very long time. So having this movie come out is a big dream of mine, especially because it's got the original cast in it. So I could not wait to watch it. So next episode will be my first Disney book review, and I'll also be reviewing Hamilton and letting you guys know what I thought of that as well. So, but like I said, that is the next show. Today's episode, I'm going to be talking about some of the new protocols and rules and stuff like that Disney is going to be enforcing once they open. For those of you who don't know, due to the pandemic, Disney has been closed for a little while. They are scheduled to reopen on this Saturday. They're reopening 2 parks at a time. So this Saturday is the opening of Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom, and then the following Wednesday, July 15th, they will be opening Epcot and Hollywood Studios. So they are staging their openings, which is good, and we'll see how that goes. But with that being said, there are some new rules and some new regulations for guests and what they're going to be doing in opening. It's very good to see Disney doing that. I hope that everybody sticks with it. And yeah, I think it's great. So let's jump into that. So we're going to go over those rules and regulations and a couple of new, because we're talking about Disney parks and Disney travel, a couple of new, I guess, bits of news. One, I'm not sure if I haven't heard anything from Disney about it. I've read things on different blogs and stuff. And then another one that has come straight from Disney. So first we'll get into those new rules and protocols and stuff like that. So One of the biggest changes in Walt Disney World. So I'm talking about Walt Disney World. Disneyland is a different story. So talking about Walt Disney World here. One of the biggest changes that they're going to be seeing for right now because of the pandemic is dining. So what my family does when we go to Walt Disney World is we love to we love to go to character dining. I'm not sure how character dining is going to work. I did not read anything about that, how they're going to be handling that. A lot of people will do character dining because of so their kids don't have to wait in line to meet characters. So things are a little bit different. So as this comes out, only online reservations for select locations in Disney Springs are available. So yeah. People with Disney Resort Hotel reservations will be able to make reservations after July 18th. So after Disney already opens, after July 18th, people will be able to make reservations there. But at this time, a valid Disney Resort Hotel reservation will be required to make dining reservations. So if you're making dining reservations, you have to be a Disney guest. It can't just be like, Joe Schmo walking off the street. You got to have a hotel reservation. So for in-park dining, when it becomes available, you are going to need a valid park admission, a reservation for park entry, and a dining reservation to dine at an in-park table service restaurant. Okay? So table service restaurants, you're going to need, like I said, you're going to need a dining reservation. You're going to need a park ticket. And you're going to need a park reservation. We'll go more into that later. Also, what you will need for dining in Walt Disney World, you will need face coverings. Each guest ages 2+ must have one. They must be worn in all public areas, including entering and exiting the park. They can be removed for eating and drinking. But other than that, you need to wear your mask, your face covering, mask, whatever you want to call it. Dining reservations, obviously, like I just said, you need to have one, and they need to be confirmed for a table service restaurant. Make sure you've got that confirmation. Before your trip, if you want to call Disney and say, I just want to confirm my dining reservations, do it. Better to be safe than sorry. Whether you feel like you're annoying because you are double checking, better to be safe than sorry. Just double check and confirm your reservation. They also highly recommend that people have the latest version of the My Disney Experience downloaded on their smartphones with location enabled. And they're also highly recommending cashless or contactless form of payment. Okay, so try your best not to bring cash, not to bring something that you really have to hand to a cast member. So like magic bands, I think they're coming out with a new way to do it right on your phone. If you're doing mobile ordering and stuff, that goes right through your phone and stuff like that. So any way that you can do it without having to hand them something is preferred. So what about the dining plans? So that's a big question. My family always uses the dining plan when we go. I don't think there has been one time since Emily was born that we haven't done a dining plan. So where does that leave us? Well, at this time, making a reservation right now, where does that go? So at this time, you actually, I'm just looking at my notes here. At this time, they're not offering dining plans. It's it's interesting. I don't know how I feel about that, but at this time, yeah. So advanced dining reservations, it used to be a big thing that you would have to, you would have to make your reservations. If you want to have, let's see, I don't want to say this. So if you wanted to get like the good reservations at like the good places and stuff like that, and every place in Disney is good. Let me just say every place in Disney is good. But if you wanted to get those big reservations, especially at like Be Our Guest or CRT or, you know, other really popular places, you would have to make those dining reservations 180 days in advance. Well, as of right now, they're doing away with that. If you want to make a dining reservation, it is done. Now it can only be done 60 days in advance. And like I said, I think that's after July 18th. Disney has said in order to foster physical distancing during this time upon reopening, our offerings, restaurants, and other experiences such as behind the scenes tours will be limited in capacity while other experiences will remain closed. So, my guess is that a lot of the character interactions will be closed. You just can't socially distance, you know, in meeting characters. So while you may have, you know, restaurants that have, you know, characters that come around, they may not be stopping at tables anymore. It may just be that they're walking around. They can stop at your table and you can take a picture of them, or you can they may figure out a way to do socially distanced pictures, but you can't get a picture with them. Maybe unless you're wearing a mask. I don't really know how that's going to work. So as soon as I know more, I'll get you guys updated on that. They're not offering dining plans right now. Like I said, for those of you who don't know, besides being a Disney podcaster, I am also a Disney travel agent. I was doing a Disney quote for a friend, and, you know, I looked and I saw you can't do dining plans. And I guess that, you know, it does come with the new rules and regulations that they have right now for COVID and stuff like that. So, I mean, I get it. It does kind of stink for the people that look forward to that. You know, who budget that in based on their trip and everything. They budget that into that. So instead, they just have to pay out of pocket. So you have to do what you have to do. So I get it. So like I said, dining reservations, if you're making them in advance, it's instead of 180 days, it's 60 days. No dining plans as of right now. Only select things are open. You know, making things socially distant, it's going to change things at Disney. So the dining is definitely one of the biggest things that they have changed for right now. And, you know, I say that this has changed, but it is for right now. Hopefully, fingers crossed, knock on wood, soon this will all, you know, be a distant memory and we can go back to the way that things were. I don't know when that's going to be, but I'm hoping it's soon. I'm hoping, you know, that 2020 isn't the year of the face mask. You know, it's going to be the year that we never forget because of this pandemic. But I'm hoping that we're not having to do face masks for the whole year. I mean, we have had to be socially distant from our family and friends for so long. It's July now, so it's, you know, but hopefully we won't have to do this the whole year. But so dining has changed. So besides the changes in dining, there have also been changes to how you get into the park. Like I said before, to use in-park dining, you'll need a dining reservation, a park ticket, which is normal. You know, if you're doing a table service, you always need a dining reservation. And obviously, if you're going to get into a park, you need a park ticket for that day. But you need something new. You need a park reservation. Okay, now you might be thinking, a park reservation? What's a park reservation? Tell me, Kristen, what's a park reservation? Well, a park reservation, let me break it down for you. So due to the pandemic, Disney has put in a new park pass system. So they have said all guests with tickets or annual passes will be required to make a reservation in advance for each park entry. This can be done using the new online tool that you can access through the My Disney experience. Make sure that you have an account to be able to get that done. You can go online and do it there, or you can do it through the My Disney Experience app. But like I said, you have to have an account, so make sure you have signed up for that. These reservations are in place to keep the numbers in the parks down, to keep people safe. You will only be allowed to make a reservation for one park per day. So like I said before with dining, they're not offering dining plans right now. Right now, Park Hopper is eliminated. So if you have a Park Hopper or a Park Hopper Plus with Water Park, that is eliminated. You are allowed to go to one park per day, and you have to have a reservation for that park. Now, my family usually does Park Hopper. I'll give you a great example of, why we do Park Hopper from the last time that we were there. We were there and we were over in Epcot in February, and we were going to be in Future World pretty much all day. But they were doing a lot of construction. Things were down. We had spent a previous day in Epcot in just the World Showcase. So we were like, we want to do Future World. Well, a lot of things were down. We were supposed to have fast passes for, I think, Spaceship Earth, and that was down. Places that we wanted to go, rides we wanted to go on were down or weren't available. So, I think we got through like the morning or the early morning, and my husband and I were like, let's just go. We saw what we wanted to see. We did what we wanted to do. And we were like, you know what, let's go. Let's hop over to Magic Kingdom. We got things changed. I called up Disney Dining. They are amazing. And they had switched over our reservations that we had later that night for dinner. They switched it over to a place over in Magic Kingdom. So we quick canceled out some fast passes that we had, and we made new fast passes for over in Magic Kingdom, which was great. Emily and my husband, I know, got to ride the Barnstormers, so that was super fun for them. And we just headed over there and spent the rest of the day over in Magic Kingdom. And that's one of the benefits about having a park hopper. If things aren't really working out the way that you want in the park that you're in, you can hop over to another park and spend the rest of the day there. And it makes it, if you don't have reservations somewhere, if you're done with your fast passes for the day and you're like, you know what, I think I'm done with this park. I think I want to go somewhere else. That's the benefit of having a park hopper. You can just head over to a different park. But with the new protocols they have right now and having to make a park reservation, you are not allowed to do that anymore. You are in one park. That's it. So it does, if you're used to having the park hopper and you're used to that, aspect of it, I'm sorry, folks, but that's just the way that it is. To keep people safe and to keep the numbers down in the parks, that's the way that it has to be. If you want to go to Disney and you want to experience the magic, that's the way that it is. So I'm sorry. If you have booked something and you have paid for your park hopper, contact Disney or contact your travel agent and let them know, and they will get that, changed out for you. Okay. So to repeat, park reservations, one park per day, and you need to make them in advance. You can't just be like, I'm going to go to Magic Kingdom today. You have to go online and make your reservation. What if they don't have a reservation for that day? What if they don't have a reservation for any of the parks that day? Make that in advance. For those guests who like to fly by the seat of their pants and don't really make any reservations, they don't do, the dining plan. They just see what's out there for that day. Well, this is the time where you kind of need to not do it that way. And you need to make those reservations, and you need to make sure that you're making the reservations and stuff for that day. You need to decide what park you're going to be in. So it's time to kind of buckle down on that. If you want any tips for planning, I'm a big planner. I love to plan each day out. It's just the way that I am. So if you want any tips on planning or anything, feel free to DM me or message me or email me, and I will gladly give you some tips. So, two major things that have changed in Disney, like I said, because of the pandemic, is you have to have a park reservation and the dining. So if you're planning a trip to Disney, please keep those in mind. Okay? It's for everybody's own safety. So just keep those in mind as you're going forward. So what else can you expect? So when you're going to Disney, what else do you need to know before you go? So like I said before, face coverings. Face coverings are required for all guests, ages 2 and up. Now, some places are like, oh, if they're under 3, it's fine. 2 and up. And for those who don't know this, you don't need a park ticket for a kid that's under 3 and under. You don't need a park ticket. 3 and up. So 2 and under, you don't need a park ticket. If your kid is 2 and older, they need a face cover. Okay, so don't think, oh, well, my kid doesn't need a park ticket, so I don't need to put a mask on them. No. 2 and up, you need a mask. Okay? I know they're not comfortable, but it's what you have to do. Better to be protected than, to get sick or to get anybody else sick. So, face coverings are required for all guests 2 and up. And don't think that just because the guests have to wear them, the cast members don't. Cast members have to wear them as well. So they are not, immune to this. So face coverings must be worn. It has to be something that covers your nose and your mouth. I'll repeat, nose and mouth. Nose and mouth. Guests must remain hands-free. It can't be a mask that you have to hold in front of you. It has to be something that, goes behind your ears or around your head. It has to be something that covers your nose and mouth, but you don't need to hold it with your hands. Costume masks are not considered appropriate. They are prohibited. Don't go in there with a costume mask. It's not it's not something that you can use. They may be doing temperature screenings as well, so be prepared for that. It's a touchless screen. I've gone to places around Rhode Island, actually just one place, where I live. We took Emily to the zoo and they did a temperature screening as we walked in. We weren't even allowed to go up to ticketing. And they scanned us. They did a temperature screen right there. Boom. Takes all of a second. They scanned my husband, they scanned Emily, they scanned me, and they're like, okay, you're good to go. So they may be doing that. If you have a temperature of 100.4 degrees Fahrenheit or above, you will not be allowed to enter. I repeat, 100.4 degrees Fahrenheit and above, you will not be allowed to enter a Walt Disney park. Okay? A good way to, do this is check your temperature. Check everybody in your party's temperature before you leave your hotel, your house, wherever you're going to go to a Walt Disney park. Just check your temperature. Check your temperature before you go. Because it would be horrible if you were to get to the park and say your kid is fine, but you're not. And then all of a sudden they scan your temperature and they're like, your temperature is, 100.5. You can't come in. Then what do? Your whole party is then turned away at the door. Sorry. Just check your temperature before you leave. Check your temperature before you leave. If they have to scan you again, well, they have to scan you again. Too bad. So, face coverings, temperature screenings. I mean, stuff like that should be common sense right now to people. So, My Disney Experience app. So I said before, they highly recommend that you have it and that you are up to date with it. Make sure you have the latest version. Make sure that you have your location services and notifications enabled. It's just really helpful to have that. they have some great features on the My Disney Experience app if you've never used it. Mobile ordering services. You can, at select locations, you can order ahead. It's awesome. I know that we used it a few times on our last trip, and it was clutch, let me tell you. Not having to wait in line to get my Dole. I mean, I still had to wait like a couple of minutes, but like not having to wait like a half an hour in line to get my Dole Whip was amazing. So I highly recommend using the mobile order section of the My Disney Experience app. It's a time saver, you know, and especially now where they don't want you to hand them cash and you may not want to get that close. Boom. Mobile order right then and there. And then, you know, it tells you how long it's going to take. Head on over, go get your snacks, your food, and you're good to go. And they are now doing scannable codes for menus at select restaurants. So while you're at a table service restaurant, you can scan a code to access the digital menu. That way you don't have to hold a menu. How great is that? For anybody, you know, especially like myself that may be nervous, to not have to touch something that somebody else may have touched without, you know, 100% knowing. The fact that you can have a scannable menu right there on your phone. Perfect. Online check-in at Disney Resort hotels, another really great feature. We have used this almost every time that we have gone. Check in online. You let them know what day you're coming, what time you could be arriving. I want to say that 70% of the time we have done that, our room has been ready before we've even gotten there. Or by the time we've gotten on the ground, we'll say that, you know, we're flying and we get there at like 9 a.m. We're usually on the Magical Express, headed to our resort, and I get a notification that says, your room is ready. This is your room number. Your Magic Band can be used as a key. No need to go to the front desk. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. It's just great. I mean, I highly, highly recommend it. I highly recommend online check-in. It just saves time, and you don't have to go to the front desk. And even if you don't, you know, even if you don't get the notification, you know, before you get to your resort that it's ready, you don't even have to go to the front desk. If you do online check-in, they will just notify you that your room is ready, and you can go from there. And Disney is always working to update this and enhance it. The My Disney Experience app is just perfect. It is the perfect assistant to your trip. So if you do not have it, I recommend downloading it. You can check things throughout your trip with the My Disney Experience app. It is a great tool to have on a Walt Disney World trip. Disney is doing so much to ensure that all their guests are safe and that they feel secure during this time. They're doing everything that they can. I hope that they do more. I'm not sure. I heard through a rumor mill that they are not having cast members tested. I mean, I'm not sure how I feel about that. But I mean, it is what it is, I guess. Not everybody is tested before they go back to work. But yeah, I hope that they do everything, that Walt Disney World and the Disney company does everything possible for their cast members to make sure that they are safe before they go back to work. Yeah. So there it is. So those are some, you know, big changes and big things that you need to know about going to Walt Disney World. I know I can't wait to go back, but so there are a couple of other items that are big on the Disney news scale. They have, I guess we'll say they have people up in arms about it, but I don't know. Some of it could be good, some of it could be bad, but we'll see. So one of the things that I just heard, it's, you know, very recent news, is Walt Disney World is going to be doing away with the complimentary Magic Band. Now, in the past, Walt Disney World has given complimentary magic bands to all guests after they book their trip. So it's one of the things that you look forward to getting. I know I have looked forward to getting them, is this little box that comes in the mail with your complimentary magic band. And as of recently, they have done, you could pay for, kind of a themed band. In the past, it's just been a solid color. You get to pick your color, and you get to pick what's inscribed on the inside, your name. I know, my family has done, I've done mommy. My husband has done daddy, and then Emily's says Emily. And we've each picked a color, and usually a month before your trip, you get your magic band in the mail. And it's been one of those things that you just look forward to it. It makes it so special. It makes it so real. You're going to Disney in like a month. It's so exciting to get it. And I know we've looked forward to it. So hearing that Disney is no longer going to be doing that was kind of a bummer. I was kind of sad about it. And being a Disney travel agent, when big news comes out, we usually hear about it, pretty soon after that, decision has been made. I had not heard anything from Disney about it. It could have just been something that I just didn't hear about, or I just didn't read about. But I did hear the rumors that it was not going to be happening anymore. So I was kind of sad about that. So, I went out there and I did my research. And according to a Disney site, touringplans.com, they have said in 2021, Disney will unveil an innovative new offering as part of the My Disney Experience app that will bring features of a magic band to your smart devices. With this new offering, it will mean that complimentary magic bands will no longer be offered to Disney Resort hotel guests for new reservations, with arrivals beginning January 1st, 2021. You'll still be able to get the magic band, but you'll have to pay for it at a discounted rate. You'll also, starting January 1st, 2021, be able to use the My Disney Experience app and or Key to the World card. So here's my thoughts on that. Personally, I am not a fan. I am not a fan of this plan. I love getting the magic band. The last time we went, Emily and my husband both got, regular plain magic bands. They picked a color. I actually spent the money and bought a discounted themed band. I had a Toy Story 4 themed band. So I like the fact that I could do that, but I like the fact that I could have had a complimentary plain band. The fact that you can't do that anymore and that you don't get that, I really don't like that. I really don't like that. Getting those magic bands was something special. It was something really special that you got to look forward to. It was just one of those things in your countdown or in your timeline that you knew you could look forward to, was your magic band. I always looked forward to them. We would get to the airport, whether we flew out of Boston or Providence, and I would always have those magic bands out and ready. I would have mine on. My husband would have his on. One of us would be holding Emily's because, she's little, can't always be trusted with it. And we would have those ready. So that way when we got off the airplane in Orlando, we could head right over to the Magical Express and boom, tag our band. Now, starting in 2021, not going to be able to do that. As a tech savvy person, somebody who loves technology, do I love that they're getting a little bit more tech savvy and that they're going to be doing things through the app? Yeah, of course I do. I think that that's great. But am I going to miss the bands? Yes. Yes, I am. So we'll just say that. I'm not a fan. I'm going to miss the magic bands. But we can't get everything that we want, I guess. So moving on to the next piece of big Disney news. So this is for Walt Disney World and Disneyland in California. It's big news. It is very big news. So the retheming of a classic ride, Splash Mountain. Now, I'm going to talk about this without getting too political. This podcast is about all things Disney. So I'm going to try and remain with that and not get too political on it. I will have my opinions, but I'm not going to go on a rant. People have called for the retheming of Splash Mountain for a while now. I know with what's been going on in the news and in our lives right now. It's kind of crept back up, the retheming of Splash Mountain. It has gotten so much, it has gotten so out there and crept up so much, we'll say, that people have even called for a petition. And there have been people that have signed petitions for it. I'm not going to lie, I signed it. But what people don't know is that, the retheming of Splash Mountain is not new news. It's been out there for a while. I know that I had heard of the retheming of Splash Mountain way back. I say way back, it's been a few years. But way back when they rethemed Maelstrom. And I don't know if I pronounced that right. If I pronounced that incorrectly, I'm sorry. Back in Epcot in Norway, when they rethemed Maelstrom to be a Frozen ride, they were like, so many people were up in arms about that. They're like, why? Leave it alone. I thought it was great. Anyway, for those who don't know, if they're like, why would they retheme this ride? Well, Splash Mountain is themed around an old Disney movie, Song of the South. It is themed around the animated characters from that movie. I personally have never seen Song of the South, but I know it is a very, very racially controversial film. There are just not some racially. There's just not some great things in that film. And this ride focuses on the cartoon characters from the animated characters from that movie. So you never see anything in the ride that is racially controversial. But there are some things in that movie that, especially nowadays, that people, it's just not great. There is a reason that Disney is not going to put it on Disney Plus. There are reasons why Disney is not going to re-release it to DVD or Blu-ray or anything like that. It's in the Disney vault and it's going to stay there. But a lot of people, especially if they've never even heard of that movie, have no idea that that's where those characters come from. So with this movie being so controversial, and so outdated, why not give that ride a new look? With everything that's going on nowadays, like I said, retheming this ride has definitely crept back up. And people have been calling for the retheme. And what a lot of people don't know is that Disney has been planning this retheme, with everything that's going on. They're like, retheme this ride. It shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be based on that movie. And Disney said, okay. But some people are like, great, now they're going to redo it? No. What people don't know is that Disney has been planning this retheme since last year. They heard the outcry. They heard what people had to say. And they're like, okay, we're going to do it. We're going to retheme this ride. So with the call to retheme it so loudly, with it being so loud, and people being up in arms about it, being like, you got to do something. Disney, you got to do something. Disney, released the good news early. They're like, guess what? We're going to do it. We've heard your outcry. We've heard the call. We are going to retheme Splash Mountain. And what lucky movie gets the honor of the retheme? Well, none other than Princess and the Frog. For those of you who don't know what that title is, if you just know it by the princess's name. Princess Tiana gets her very own ride. And I have to say that I'm excited. I'll just say that. I'm excited about this. Princess Tiana has been one of our favorites in our family for a long time. She was one of Emily's first favorites. I mean, in Em's mind, her very first favorite princess is Anna and Elsa. But very shortly after that, she was exposed. Exposed is probably a bad word to say, but she saw The Princess and the Frog and fell in love. Just fell in love with Tiana and Naveen and those characters. And Princess and the Frog has been a favorite in our household for a very long time. Emily is not a fan of Dr. Facilier, the Shadow Man. She is not a fan. We'll just say that. But she loves Tiana. And we always really look forward to meeting her and seeing her when we go to Disney World. And we have gone on, they had this ice cream social party on the riverboat. And I don't think they do it. They've done it a couple of times that we've gone, and each time that we've gone that it's been there and it's been open, we have gone and we've done it. And we love it. And Em always gets so excited and so shy to meet Tiana, but she loves it. And literally, I think the first time that we did it, it was great. Emily literally followed Tiana around. So Tiana and Naveen come onto the riverboat when it goes around, and you know, they walk around and stuff like that. And Emily literally followed Tiana the whole time she was on the boat. She wanted to know where she was. She wanted to see her all the time. And she was so excited. She was so excited to meet her and to see her. So it was really great. And I love Princess Tiana. She's one of my favorites. And there's something to be said about this amazing woman, Tiana, that Disney has created, who shows young girls that you can make your dreams come true with hard work. She works hard all the time, and she shows young girls that you can do it. You can make your dreams come true if you work hard. And I love that. Especially in an age where so many kids may, feel privileged. No. Work hard. Achieve those dreams. Follow Tiana's example. And I'm thrilled that Disney's first Black princess finally gets the recognition that she deserves. I'm so happy for that and so excited for this ride. We're all in my family. I'm going to throw this out there. Maybe somebody from Disney will hear this. And my husband and I have said this quite a number of times. We think that Disney should rebrand the restaurant in Walt Disney World. The Diamond Horseshoe should be rebranded as Tiana's Palace. How great would that be, right? Tiana's Palace, they would have singing and dancing, a jazz band, and great food. We could have, Tiana's gumbo. I mean, come on. And beignets, it'd be perfect. I think they should do it. I'm going to throw that out there. So I'm very excited about this. I'm going to say it again. I'm very excited. There are plenty of people out there who say that you should leave the classic ride alone. I am not one of them. While I love the classic rides, I'm a huge fan of, It's a Small World and Peter Pan. There are some times where I think you should just rebrand. Maelstrom was one of them. I think Splash Mountain is due. I think it's due for a rebrand. I'm sorry. I just do. And it's just time. It's time for that change. Emily has never been on Splash Mountain, and I am very excited that the first time she will go on this ride, she will be going on it as a Princess Tiana ride. I'm very excited for that. And I think it's going to make it even more exciting for her to go on this ride that is going to be rethemed as one of her favorite Disney princesses. So, yeah. I'm excited about it. I want to know what your thoughts are, whether you think this is a good thing, a bad thing. I want to know. All this talk about Disney is definitely making me wish I was going back there sooner, but we usually take our annual pilgrimage to Disney, once a year. We go to Disney, get to be in our home away from home. But with the pandemic and everything going on, we are going to be staying away until 2022. We've kind of decided we're going in November, early November. 2022 is a big year in our family. Why, you may ask? In 2022, my husband and I will be celebrating our 10-year wedding anniversary, and I also turn the big 4-0 that year. So we decided that instead of going in February when we usually go, we're going to go in November. And we're going to celebrate my birthday. We'll celebrate Em's birthday. She'll be turning 8 that year. She'll be turning 8 that year. So I'll be turning the big 4-0. Em will be turning 8 that year. And we're going to do it up big. It'll have been almost 3 years since we have been. So we're going to do it big. We're going to go all out. And we're hoping, we've never done this before, but we're hoping to hit the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party and Mickey's Very Merry Christmas party all in one trip. We'll see if we can make it work, but we don't know. So hopefully we'll be able to do that. I can't wait to get back to Disney. I'm glad that they are doing so much to ensure their guest safety. I look forward to the new changes. Well, some of them, not the magic bands, but I look forward to the new theming of Splash Mountain. I don't know what it's going to be called. I don't know if it'll still be Splash Mountain or if it's going to have a new name. I don't know when that comes out. I'm hoping it'll be done by 2022. So Em will be able to do that. But we'll see. So, well, that's it, folks. That's it for this latest episode of the Disney Life Happy Wife podcast. I'm so happy to be able to bring this to you. I want to know what your thoughts are. I want to know what your thoughts are about some of the pandemic socially distanced changes that they're making. I want to know what you think about the magic bands. I want to know what you think about the retheming of Splash Mountain. Whether you're for it, whether you're against it, whether you think they should do, a different movie besides Princess and the Frog. I want to know what you think. So let me know. Like I said, you can DM me or message me on social media, or you can email me. My email is dlhwpodcast@gmail.com. dlhwpodcast@gmail.com. Social media, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram. Disney Life Happy Wife Podcast, all one word, at Disney Life Happy Wife Podcast. It's long, but it's all one word. Twitter, you can find me at DLHW Podcast. So Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, I'm there. Check me out. Follow me. Follow along with me on social media. Subscribe to the podcast. Rate me. Send me a review. I want to know what you think about the podcast. I want to know your thoughts. I also started putting the episodes up on YouTube. I've got a YouTube channel too. It's kind of a fledgling thing. I'll put a link in the show notes to that, so you can check that out. I will hopefully have all of the episodes up there pretty soon. I know I have the last couple of episodes up there on the YouTube channel, but hopefully we'll have them all there very, very soon. Where can you listen besides where you're listening now? Well, pretty much everywhere that you can listen to podcasts. You can listen to me. You can listen to me on my website, manysidesofmom.com. There's its own special page for the podcast. So manysidesofmom.com/podcast. You can go there. Buzzsprout, Apple Podcasts, or iTunes, Spotify, TuneIn, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Deezer, Listen Notes, and more. So many places. Like I said, pretty much everywhere you can listen to podcasts, you can listen to me. So, there you go. Thank you guys so much for listening. It makes me so happy to be able to bring my passion and my love of Disney to you guys. Thank you for taking your time out of your day to listen to me talk about Disney. I love it, and I want you guys to love it. So there you go. So thank you again for listening. It means so much to me. I will be back real soon with another episode of Disney Life Happy Wife, hopefully next week. That's what I'm thinking. Since Emily is at Grammy Summer Camp, I will hopefully have a weekly episodes again. That would be great. And like I said, next episode, I promise, my first Disney book review and my review on Hamilton. So excited. So there you go. Hopefully next week. So everybody stay safe, stay happy and healthy. Do what you're supposed to do with this pandemic. Don't be crazy. Stay safe, everybody. Have a magical rest of your week, everyone.